Okay, family, we're getting ready to do the pattern piece number 3A. And 3A is the extension for the right back. So it's the pattern piece number 3. Let me show you on here. Okay, number 3A, which is the extension, which is the draping. And this is the regular number 3. And here, these are the back pieces, okay? The right back and the extension, and that's number 3. So to put those pieces together, I take my iron and I kind of go over it just a little bit like that to just make sure the pattern is completely straight. Then I'm going to line up these circles. There are circles there, and then there are circles on here. You simply line up the circles like so. Once they're completely lined up, then, there we go. Okay, once they're completely parallel, we take some tape. And we take that right across there. And then I'll put one directly in the center to keep it all together so that it won't shift. Okay, right now we are working on pattern piece 1 and 1A. This is the right front. So this is right front number 1. And this is right front, the extension of number 1. So this is considered as 1A. So what you're going to do is there's circles here. I want you guys to be able to see that there are circles here on this piece. Okay. And then there are circles here on this piece, which means you're going to put these pieces together. So you want to make sure that this is on the front end and it's not upside down. Okay, because that would definitely affect your pattern. So once both of the patterns are facing forward, facing upright, you want to line up the circles. Now once you line up these circles, you want to take your iron and you want to iron across of them, like so, okay? And that's going to make it kind of stay a little bit until you begin to tape it down. So, make sure they're lined up, the circles are lined up perfectly. And then you take your tape you're going to do it on each end and then you're going to do it in the center. Okay. And then one in the center to keep it from moving and shifting. Okay. Now, on your pattern instructions, it's going to show you how to lay this out, okay? It's going to give you a full diagram on how to lay your pieces out on your material. Now, it says cut 1 on the pattern, so you're only going to cut 1 so you open the fabric out all the way. See, here's a lot of the extension of the fabric here because I'm not cutting it on a fold and I'm not cutting with the two pieces front and back together. We're just going to cut it all the way laid out. So, and with that, you have to have that allowance because this 1A extension is fairly big, if you see that, if you guys can see that, okay? So it has to be cut on the single layer of fabric, and it has to be cut all the way on the width like that. Now, on every pattern, you're going to be given a grain line, okay? That's this long line here with the arrows on it. When it says grain line, that means that it has to be, this is considered as the grain, okay? We definitely want our stripes to go diagonal. We want them to go up and down. So by having them going up and down, this arrow here needs to be straight. So let's line that all up and get these pieces on here and start pinning them down. I have completely laid out the pattern. Let me show you guys the diagram. Here's the diagram here, and I'm going to show you how I laid it out. Now, when you're making a pattern that have some intricate cuts to it, just as the rouging on here, it's a little bit different. You have to be patient because otherwise you will missize your pattern. Anytime you're working with a stretch lycra type of pattern, material as this with a four-way stretch, it has a tendency to crawl or curl. You see what I'm saying? So you have to be very patient with working with this. You have to line your patterns up, press them out on the material, and simply take your time. You might have to move it around a few times to get it correct. But the whole key here is to be patient. If not, it will be missized and it will not turn out right. We're going to begin sewing our front and back pieces together. So this will be step number 1. And we're going to pin the front and the back together. And we're going to begin doing the long strip of stitches going straight down. Okay. Now, I have threaded my bobbin with the brown thread. So let's get busy. Now I'm gonna put this on a zigzag stitch here. Now there are other stitches that you can use for stretch material. Okay, this is buttonholes here, I'm sorry. But there's other interlocking stitches that you can use for stretch material. Me personally, I like my zigzag, and then I also go over my zigzag with a straight. I do have a serger as well, but you have to be well versed because a serger will not only finish the edges, but it would also trim them off. So a lot of times when you're trying to find an easy fit and you're using a serger, you better be right on with your measurements, or otherwise once it's sewn, it cannot be fixed. So for me, I always choose to use my brother as opposed to my serger because it gives me some wiggle room and it doesn't make the pieces final. Also, you always have to allow for 5/8 of an inch of stitching, and it's already incorporated into the sizing, so you don't have to worry about that. So let's get busy. Okay, we've done the left front and the right front. Now we're going on to step number 2, and it says pin right front number 3 to right front at overarm, right sides together, matching notches, circles, and triangles. Stitch from neck edge to small circle. And let's do that now. We're starting on number 3, and we're going to pin left back to left front at left shoulder, right sides together, matching notches and triangles, stitch.